But we're in Fight Factory today, joined here by coach, co-owner, promoter, call him what you want, man of everything, Mr. Phil Boyd. Phil, tell us a bit about today. I think we have over 40 people here today from different schools around the country. What's the purpose of today?
Yeah, look, that's a good question. The purpose of today is just to bring all the skills together. Next Gen is an important project that we do here because old lads like me are not going to hang around forever, even though I'm going to try my best. But it's very important that we're developing the next level of talent come through the school. We can't be reliant on the people who are on the shows, and the only way we can do that is to give these people platforms. So that's why we try bring open doors for a school. Not that they're not open any other day, but we open them up to get everyone together, training, learning different styles, learning each other, and making connections. So basically, the guys can have more opportunity to get their names out there and get those reps in.
That's brilliant. We've been here for the day. Obviously, we got to see a bit of training earlier. Very good vibe out there. Very good atmosphere that was created. Is that a conscious decision by yourself and the other coaches to create that welcoming, warm atmosphere for everyone to
Yeah,
come
look,
into?
look, it's not fake. That's the one thing I'd say. It's 100% not fake, and I would never try and tell you that it was. Or like, my whole thing is that we've from day one, a long, long time ago in Brave, we made a conscious decision to take bad attitudes and get them out. Not get them out, but to let them know that bad attitudes are not welcome in this club. And what that's done is basically manifested a very friendly training environment, which is something I'm very proud of. Like that hasn't happened overnight. That's been a lot of like tough decisions at times, and but making sure that people are coming in with the right attitudes, because there's nothing worse than going to a training school that has a bad attitude. Because what happens is poor guys who just sign up because they want to become wrestlers, find a different school, go in, realize there's a bad attitude there, and then they subconsciously develop bad attitudes. It's very much like monkey see, monkey do. And the good thing is that we do make a conscious decision here to make sure that it is a positive atmosphere. People, at the end of the day, we're all just wrestling fans. Whether you've been doing it 20 years, you've been doing it 20 days. So it's important that people are fair. When we talk about things like our squad training once a month. Like these are all inclusion projects that we do to make sure that everyone feels welcome. That there's not this that no one feels intimidated in any sort of way, because at the end of the day, it's a very intimidating place to come. And to join up with any new sports club. So we definitely make a conscious effort of making sure things are positive. Don't get me wrong, constructive criticism happens at times, but generally it's positive. Like no one gets given out there for giving things a go, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to see a bit of training today. Although, there was a very good vibe. When you're on the mats, you're doing things very seriously. The coaches are there giving great guidance. I think they're very warm. They're very open. There's nothing forced either. It's like, are you comfortable doing this? It's that kind of thing. Can you talk a bit about the coaches that you have out there, who you have, and like just what they offer to a club or a school like this?
No one on those matches coaching that hasn't came through my coaching criteria. It's very my most important rule is it's always been safety first. Never ask anyone to try anything that they're uncomfortable with. Even if you don't think it's dangerous, other people can't process that in their brains. It is a very dangerous sport, particularly if you're unsure or unconfident about what you're doing. And all those trainers, Lee even started out, they were all spoon fed information, allowed to take smaller sessions. We made sure that everything is perfect. No one's allowed to coach it down those mats without having a full understanding of the risks involved. So at the end of the day, there's nothing that I fear most in this world. It's not my injury. I could get injured tomorrow. I accept that. It's to see other people getting injured under my watch. And in fairness, we have such a great track record. I have to touch wood. God bless. But like we have such a good track record there of not having big injuries in this club. But again, everyone, it's that sort of learning tutelage. Like I'm not saying that I've learned everything. I learned off a lot of different coaches, and what I did is just cherry picked the best of the best from them. Like and stuff that I didn't appreciate, I just left at the wayside. I don't, and I. The best thing about it is all the stuff I've learned, I've passed on to Katie Harvey. Katie Harvey's passed it on to Lee. Lee has passed it on to Martin, and KD and Justy and everyone. And it's a whole learning curve, in fairness. And the one thing I'll say is that even when those guys go learn in different training schools, when they go to England and they go to Europe and stuff like that, it's brilliant because they bring back stuff that I haven't seen before, and then that just makes me a better coach. So we have a really good strong learning dynamic here of like I believe you don't know everything and you're constantly able to learn. I learned something off Justy today, as you know, Colin, about promos. So like yeah, it's a constant learning curve, and like everyone is held to these high standards. And when we talk about codes of conduct and stuff like that, these aren't just phrases that we throw out. Like we have a code of conduct. We have meetings here between the coaches to make sure that we're going in the same direction, that we're teaching the same sort of stuff, and we try to stay on the same page as much as possible.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Just the last question, Phil. What advice would you give to someone who's like new in the door, or even people who haven't taken that step to come down for a training session? Might be a bit apprehensive about coming down. Is there any advice you'd give those people?
Yeah, like I said, the hardest step is the first one. We get a lot of messages saying like, "What can I do to prepare for this?" And in fairness, there's not really a lot you can do. This is not a sport that you can just go run on a pitch or run on a treadmill. It will improve your general fitness, but getting into the ring and physically doing these things is something that you need to just take that step, take that jump. And the thing is, like a lot of this stuff you won't pick up quickly. It's difficult. Like I find it very easy now, but I'm 20 years into it, and I definitely didn't find it easy for the first 5 years. I was one of the last in my group to get a match on a show, and there's people who've been here on the roster who've been main guys on our roster now, and I won't name names, but a certain individual was about 6 years here without even being considered for a match. He was that much of a late bloomer, and now that he's bloomed, he's one of the top guys on our card at the moment. But what I'd say is like you just have to kind of take the push, and what I'd say is come in with no expectations to yourself. Things will happen in their own due course. The main thing we talk about is just repetition. You just got to consistently give it your best effort, and if your best isn't that good enough that day, that's fine. No one holds anyone to any high standards here. Like if you try something and mess up, like that's fine. There's no condemning or anything like that. But the important thing is that it's all trial and error, and that's my best advice to anyone starting out. It's trial and error, but if you don't trial it, like you'll never make those errors, and you'll never proceed. The first step I'd say is just get yourself down, come down with no expectations, and just give it your best effort.
That's brilliant, Phil. Thanks very much for your time.
No problem.